Where to find the jagged peaks in Minecraft. In this video we will talk about the new world generation in 1.18, how it generates with mountain peaks, where to find the jagged peaks biome, and what you can find in the jagged peaks biome. This information is accurate as of the 21W43A snapshot, and there shouldn't be any changes. If there are any changes, I will do an updated video. Let's start with changes to world generation. Before this update in Minecraft, how terrain was generated depended on the biome. For example, for an area to have hills, it would have to be a hills biome like a desert hills. However, in Minecraft 1.18, Caves and Cliffs Update Part 2, terrain generates before the biomes. This means the biomes are picked after the terrain. This also means that a bunch of biomes have been removed from the game. It simplifies the biomes as you don't need to have a biome for flat, hills, and mountains. Now it is simplified into one biome and it will generate these terrains in it. How do mountain peaks generate in 1.18? Part of this is that mountains have been changed. Now there are 6 sub-biomes that have been added to mountains. There are 3 biomes that make up the mountain peaks. The other 2 are stony peaks and frozen peaks. The mountains can have one biome for the peaks or the top of the mountains and another for the slopes or the bottom layers of the mountain. Where to find the jagged peaks biome. The jagged peaks will be found at the mountain peak. It is more likely to generate in taller and more jagged terrain that can pass clouds and can peak at 256 vertical position in the world. However, I've found some jagged peaks on shorter mountains. The jagged peak will have snow blocks, stone, and snow layers. It should stand out from the other mountain peaks, frozen peaks, and stony peaks. Frozen peaks are similar, except there is packed ice. Stony peaks will have stone, andesite, calcite, granite, and gravel on the surface. The jagged peaks are uncommon and will generate in snowy, cold, or temperate biome clusters. The biome clusters are meant to have similar temperature biomes next to each other. The only clusters a jagged peak won't generate are warm or aquatic clusters. Some of the warm biomes, for example, are deserts, savannas, and badlands. Aquatic biomes are oceans. Mountains with jagged peaks should show up next to a lot of different biomes. What is in the jagged peaks biome? Jagged peaks will generate on the top of a mountain and will have cliffs or steep terrain. The surface will be stone with a layer of snow blocks on top of it, with one layer of snow layers on top of that. The surface of jagged peaks can also have coal ore, iron ore, and emerald ores. One of the changes in the 1.18 update is that ores generate differently. Before there was a range for each ore and there was an even distribution of the ore. In 1.18 you ought to be more strategic in finding ores as it is more likely to generate at certain levels. For example, before lapis lazuli would generate in triangles, with levels 17 to 19 being the best spot to find it and being less likely if you go down to 0 or up to 30. Now this is similar as there is a batch of iron and emeralds that generate in mountains. Here is a chart that is approximately how it will generate, although this may change. Both emeralds and iron will have a batch where the best spot to find them is at 256, which could be a jagged peak if it generates that high. Emerald ores can only be generated in mountain biomes. The iron does have 3 batches, so it can be mined underground. The coal ore has 3 batches. The ones that relate to jagged peaks is just as likely to be found at any level. There's another one that can be found at level 95, but is 50% less likely to generate exposed to air. If you are exploring jagged peaks, ores can be exposed on the surface, so it could be a good way to mine for emeralds, coal, or iron. The jagged peaks also have infested blocks. These are blocks that have silverfish in them that will break out when mined and attack the player. Using a pickaxe enchanted with Silk Touch, which will drop the block instead of breaking it, can prevent the silverfish from breaking out, although they will still be in the block. Silverfish are a hostile mob that only has 1 attack strength, but they can summon surrounding silverfish to break out in a range of 21 by 11 by 21 from infested blocks. Mobs in the jagged peaks biome. The only mob that spawns in the Jagged Peaks is the goat. The goats can also spawn in frozen peaks and snowy slopes that are mountain biomes. There are two types of goats, ones that don't scream, and there's a 2% chance that there will be screaming goats. The goats when killed won't drop anything. The goats can be milked similar to cows with an empty bucket to get a milk bucket, which you can use to craft into cakes or drink to remove status effects. Goats can jump up to 10 blocks high. You can prevent them from doing this by having them on honey blocks. The goat's jumping is used to cross holes or jump over powdered snow. If a player is standing still, the goat can ram the player from 16 blocks away, and this will deal 9 blocks of knockback, which could make the player fall off a mountain. Even though the goats will ram, they will flee if they are attacked. The goats will follow you if you are holding wheat. Wheat can be used to enter them into love mode and breed with other goats. Besides the goats, the other mobs that can spawn in the Jagged Peaks are hostile mobs. These include spiders, zombies, zombie villagers, skeletons, creepers, endermen, and witches. The mobs can still spawn on the snow layers. The only structure in the Jagged Peaks is the pillager outpost. The pillager outpost will have loot chests in them. The outpost is guarded by pillagers who are hostile illagers that can be equipped with crossbows. If you kill an illager captain who is holding a banner, this will give you the bad omen effect for 5 Minecraft days or 100 minutes. The bad omen effect will trigger a raid if you enter a village. You can remove the bad omen effect by drinking milk.